Breaking news, President Trump is now breaking his silence as he is facing bipartisan widespread backlash for posting a racist video depicting former President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes.
I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody did.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
Okay, well, he did eventually remove the post. It had been up for nearly 12 hours, but he did remove it. And I want to warn before we show it to you that it is racist and offensive, but it's important to show because this was posted on the official account of the President of the United States, right? This is what was posted there. You can see here the faces of the Obamas put onto bodies of apes, and his decision to take the post down came after the White House initially doubled down on the post itself. The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying, quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and the Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." Well, that was said, but then the backlash got loud. Republican Senator Tim Scott, the only black Republican in the Senate, came out calling it the most racist thing out of this White House. Estelle Herndon and Andrew Yang are out front now. Pretty incredible, Estelle, okay, on a lot of levels. But it takes them 12 hours to take this down. Yeah. At first they say, owning exactly what it was, not trying to say it was about voting machines and I didn't see the part about the apes. They actually owned the whole part about the apes, and then still took it down.
Yeah, the initial response was to defend it, as it always is with the Trump White House. And then after the blowback started, we have seen these kind of further retractions. I mean, when I saw this morning, it is both shocking and not shocking at the same time, right? Like at one, you have the reality of the President of the United States engaging in offensive racist behavior, but you also have a president who has had his whole political rise tied to those very same things. I mean, the origin story of Donald Trump is a racist conspiracy about Barack Obama. So, I mean, we cannot extract Donald Trump from the trail of racism that he has left or encouraged. But I think this reflects a White House that is increasingly at a credibility loss, too. They are putting their officials out there, Caroline Leavitt included, and whether it's Minneapolis or whether it's Trump's health or whether it's this video, they're increasingly asking the public to not believe what's in front of them. And I think that has contributed to Donald Trump's increasing unpopularity with the electorate.
So, you know, Andrew, the White House obviously now trying to blame it on a White House staffer. Okay, which, I mean, there's so much irony in that. You could take the Rob Reiner post. You could take so many posts that they actually haven't even tried to blame on a staffer, right? They're like, he goes ahead and posts his own stuff that I don't know anybody thought was okay. In this case, Trump allies are calling to fire the staffer. Bill O'Reilly said you got to fire the staffer right away. Pastor Mark Burns, after speaking with Trump, says my recommendation to the president was direct and firm. The staffer should be fired immediately. And the president should publicly condemn this action, which he didn't do, right? He said he didn't make a mistake. But a source familiar with Trump's social media, as I said with Rob Reiner, he posts on Truth Social all the time by himself. He posts in the middle of the night by himself, right? So suddenly in this case, this one somehow upset enough people that he's going to put the fig leaf up?
Yeah, the backlash was truly bipartisan, which is something of a rarity in today's politics. I agree with Estelle. Aside from how violent and disgusting the video was, the first thing that came to mind for me was distraction, because the actions of ICE in Minneapolis, wildly unpopular, even with many people who voted for Donald Trump. This week, a job report came out saying that it was the worst January for people looking for jobs since 2009.
It's 17 years. I mean, to go back.
Yeah, and so I thought to myself, okay, this is Trump throwing something out there to change the news cycle.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think there has been speculation that he has done that before. We know that that's his instinct, is to like get it back on his terms. I just think even as they lurch at some of their more familiar topics, be it social stuff or driving what they used to call wokeness or fighting against that. Yeah. This isn't that.
This is way beyond that. A very, very bad.
And so I'm saying even as they try to draw Democrats into culture wars, I think they have miscalculated the moments in which Donald Trump goes way beyond that. The Rob Reiner post is one of that. I think this post is another.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah,
I mean, the Rob Reiner post didn't get this much from Republican senators, and you had administration allies coming out and saying, fire this guy, apologize immediately.
So you got a new book that just came out. I got it here. Hey Yang, where's my $1,000?
Yes.
Which was the central promise. I love the title because you were talking about, when we came on air about possible titles. I love this title because this was it. This was the premise, right? This was the thing where initially, Yang Gang, and you went viral in part. This was one of the things. So the freedom dividend. You call this book, though, a blueprint for finding optimism. And I just got to say, give us some optimism.
Yeah. The single biggest thing that's making us mad and sad, Aaron's our phone. If you put down your phone and do just about anything, walk outside, talk to a neighbor, read a book, you'll feel better. And this book was my effort to make light of some of the very serious issues that are coming down the pike, including the fact that AI is real, it's here. I was talking about that in 2019, 2020 in Iowa, and frankly, a lot of people looked at me like I was the crazy magical Asian man from the future who wanted to give everyone.
All the job losses.
No, you were
proven right. You were on that debate stage. Yeah.
And now the future is here. It's going to be very, very harsh for a lot of workers. And I think we should start distributing the gains from AI as quickly as possible.
One thing I think about is how lost this conversation was in the last presidential election cycle. I mean, you were bringing up these issues in 2020. And things like AI, things like kind of the future of work should have been front and center in our kind of last political cycle, and it wasn't. And I think part of that was age of candidates. Part of that were two parties who weren't really there or dealing with it. But the impact is a public that hasn't really been included in something that will affect their lives.
Amen. Part of it is the Democrats didn't have a primary, so there wasn't a real conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there hopefully will be now. Where's my $1,000?
It's coming, hopefully, Aaron. It's coming to America.
All right. Thank you both very much.